This is the Sports Central Podcast.
All right, I'm here with my man Ice Cube, and let's get straight to it. You know, we're talking about Big Three basketball,
Yeah.
but before we get to the Big 3 real talk, man. When's the last time you messed around and got yourself a triple-double?
It's been a while, man. I retired a few years back. Yeah, you know, I didn't want to be an amateur with a pro injury, so, you know, I saw some of my friends, you know, they was popping ACLs and tearing up their knee and all that.
But you used to ball back in the day, though.
Yeah, you know, I love playing basketball, man. Didn't get a chance to play for my high school, but I tried out. And I think the coach was hating on me because I was playing football too, so I was late, you know. So.
Yeah.
But I've always loved the game, and always loved the 3-on-3 style in particular. So I guess that's why I'm the guy with the pro league.
Yeah. So let's this Big 3 basketball, and it's your 8th season.
Yes.
What are you so excited about this year? Coming up?
Competition. It's every year it's gotten better and better. You know, people understand the Big 3. It's not a cakewalk, you know, even though if you've, you know, played full court 5-on-5 in the NBA, you're still going to have to bring your A game to the Big 3. So, you know, that's how you want it. You want it to be, you know, a dogfight.
Yeah.
And so we got some great talent coming into the league this year. Dwight Howard, Kemba Walker, Montrezl Harrell, a few other names that they haven't signed yet, but hopefully they will, and we can make an announcement.
Now, one thing about this year, you have the team in Los Angeles.
Yes.
The LA Riot.
The LA Riot.
When you think about that, you started this league, you're from this LA area. Like, what does it mean to you to have your own pro team from your area in your professional league?
Oh man, it's a you know, dream come true in a lot of ways. You know, when we first started this, all the teams were centrally owned by the league. And we went from town to town just to show people what Big 3 basketball was all about. So this year's our first year that we're planted in cities now. You know, we're in LA, we're in Detroit, we're in Boston, Dallas, Houston, Miami, and Chicago, and the DMV, which is DC, Virginia, Maryland area. And so that's great. You know, this is how the league grows. This is how we unlock a great big fan base that's here in LA. Hopefully they'll root for the Riot all summer long. And we'll see. You know, they have Dwight Howard on the team. Jordan Crawford is on the squad.
Swaggy P's like, is the coach,
Swaggy
right?
P's the coach. So, you know, hopefully they can bring a championship to LA. We'll see.
Thinking of the name LA Riot.
Yeah.
Like, you think of so much. What went into that name, and you know, who said, you know what, let's roll with that?
Well, we looked at the names. You know, the names are a little provocative. You know, we gotta make some noise in LA because there's so many teams here. You know, you got the Lakers, you got the Clippers, you got, you know, from Angels, Dodgers, so many LA teams. So we wanted to make a splash. We feel like if you can root for the Raiders, you can root for the Riot. If you can root for the Lightning and the Hurricane and the Thunder, you can root for the Riot. So, you know, I know it's provocative, but we having a little fun with it. Hopefully the team, you know, we'll have a ball and have a Riot.
Well, you just mentioned the Raiders, and just almost like a wellness check. How are you these days, being a Raiders fan? You good? Are you Cube? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. You know, the Raiders, they moved to Vegas. You know, they're still trying to find that head coach that's, you know, gonna be there for a minute.
You got Pete Carroll now.
Pete Carroll, you know, more than capable Super Bowl winning coach, and you know, I think we got a nice quarterback who got chip on his shoulder, something to prove. So we'll see.
Going back to your football days, if you were going to play for the Raiders, what position are you playing?
You know, probably fullback.
Fullback.
You know,
so you're bringing an old position back. Fullback.
Yeah, you know, that's the position I played in high school, fullback and outside linebacker. You know, I think I'm a little small for outside linebacker, but fullback, you know, I've seen them.
Okay.
You know.
If we get this Big 3, let's keep that theme, the Big 3. What are like your Big 3 professional teams that you're a fan of in this city?
Oh, wow. Come on, man. Lakers.
Is it with the order? Go from 3 to 1. One the best.
Okay, Lakers.
Lakers are 3? Okay.
No. Lakers are not 3.
Okay.
Okay, it's just 3 to the best. Okay. All right, so, I guess you would say, Kings, Dodgers, Lakers.
Lakers, okay. All right, Kings hockey team making it in there. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's think about the Lakers then. What's it like for you as a fan with LeBron, with Luka and stuff like that?
It's great, I'm always amazed at the Lakers being able to pull this off. You know what I mean? Like, before I was clocking them, they got Wilt.
Yeah.
Then, when I was, they brought in Kareem, bring in, you already had Magic, but then you bring in like somebody like McAdoo, take him over the top. Shaq, Kobe, LeBron, Pau Gasol, Anthony Davis, now Luka. So the Lakers, they have an amazing front office that, I always think they're gonna come through.
Dodgers was number 2 on that list?
Yeah, number 2.
All I think about, Cube, is the World Series run.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the gates, the field opens up, center field, and you pop out there performing.
Yeah.
What was that moment like?
Man, it was surreal. I grew up a Dodgers fan. I remember watching the Dodgers and the Yankees playing the World Series 70s and the 80s,
Yeah.
I remember Reggie Jackson hitting 3 home runs on us. Then 81, Dodgers coming back and winning it. And then, we hadn't seen this for seemed like 30, 40 years, and here we go again. So I'm just really waiting to kick back and watch the series. Then we get a call saying, hey, you wanna do game 2? And I'm like, man, I gotta be there.
That's what's up. One of the moments that I think about is you're also then part of the championship parade, right?
Yeah.
And I'm seeing Dave Roberts, the manager. I mean, he says he went back to his young days.
Yeah.
Like when he had, I think it was a Nissan Sentra with the system in the back.
Yeah.
What was that moment like for you, though?
Oh man, it's fun to be able to rock the crowd. We back at the scene of the crime. Giving the same performance. Just kind of now we're celebrating the championship. It's not, trying to win a game or 2 here to win the World Series, but hey, it's parade time. And, I thought it was a groundskeeper on the stage when I first turned around. I'm like, man, this dude done got a little happy. But then I see it's the skipper, and I'm like, oh, man, let's rock, have fun with it. And he had a great time, and, hopefully we can do it again.
Keep it real with me, man. How familiar are you with the Fat Joe curse?
Fat Joe's my man. I wouldn't call it a curse. It was just a hard act to follow, especially after,
After you.
Well, and they teams had took 2 L's, so, it was kind of like, I know whenever I'm watching a series and my team is down 0-2, I don't care about no performances, man. Let's get to game 3. Let's get back right on track. So he had an uphill battle, hard act to follow, so to speak.
When did you become, or should I say, how did you become a Dodgers fan? Who introduced you to it?
Being little, my friend played on the Little League baseball team at Holly Park, and one day they had Dodger night, and the coach let me go, and I was able to go with the team and check out the game. And once you go into Dodger Stadium, you automatically a fan. So as a youngster, I became a big fan. We got a Dodger bat, and all that good stuff. So it was a great experience. I still love going out to Dodger Stadium, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful park. And it's always a great time to be alive when you can check out a Dodger game.
Do you remember how old you were at that time?
I was about maybe 8.
8 years old. 8 years. Do you remember a play that happened, a moment, a player that you saw? I was like, man, there goes my man right there.
Oh man, seeing Dusty Baker, seeing Steve Garvey, and Steve Sachs, and just saw the OG greats, Davey Lopez and all that. Davey Lopes. It was just pretty cool.
Big 3.
Yeah.
If you had to pick your big 3 Lakers of all time for you? If it was like a Mount Rushmore, your top 3 Laker players. Who's Cube's big 3?
Oh man, Magic.
Okay.
Kobe.
Okay, hold on right there. Now it's like, okay, who's the last to make this cut here?
I'm gonna go with Shaq.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, as far as just being a dominant force. It's like, yeah.
All right. What about the Dodgers? What's your big 3?
Oh man, as a Dodger, oh man, you got to go with Jackie Robinson. You
Okay,
gotta go, back that far. And man, we've had some greats. I would go with I used to love Dusty Baker as a player. And let's go with Fernando on the mound.
Okay, my man. Now I'm just thinking, let's say big 3, top 3 of your songs, like your big 3. What are your top 3?
It was a good day.
Start from number 3. Start from number 3.
Start from number 3. I guess I would say maybe You Know How We Do It.
Yup. Okay.
Very, one of my classics. Check Yourself is another one.
Okay.
And It Was a Good Day. Those 3, can't lose with those 3.
What are your big 3, maybe big professional athletes that you've ever met? The 3 that are just like, man, I can't believe I'm with this guy.
Oh man.
Or woman.
I mean, I met Muhammad Ali before.
What was that like?
Oh man, it was amazing. It was a quick meeting, but it was real. It was like, seeing a superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say Marcus Allen is one of them.
Okay.
And got a chance to hang with him.
Was this before? Was this like the USC days, or because he was a Raider?
No, it's after he became, a Hall of Famer.
Okay, gotcha.
It was amazing. Deion Sanders, he's one of those athletes. Reggie Jackson. These are athletes that are, top.
But who's number 1?
Number 1, man, that I know. I guess I would say, Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay.
I mean, he was, he's larger than life already, and, he was a dominant figure, and, I don't know if I met anybody bigger and more dominant at their sport.
Is there a story that you can share with you and Shaq that maybe people don't know?
Oh, we went on tour together.
Okay, tell me about it.
Yeah, Shaq was rapping back in the day. He was with a group called the Fushnikins. And we did a show we did shows in Japan. Then we did shows in Australia, New Zealand, with Cypress Hill. In 94. And got a chance to play basketball. I had a chance to throw an alley-oop to Shaq.
Okay.
He almost tore down the rim and made my day, made my life. I'm like, yo, I had to, I'm balling in there, get a chance to throw alley-oop to Shaq.
That's what's up.
Next level.
Let's think about Shaq's rap game for a second. You, if you think of some of the greatest rappers, you're in that list. How would you describe Shaq's rap game?
Shaq to me is, full of metaphors. He got nice metaphors. I think that's what really puts him above the rest, because, he'll mess around and have some nice lyrics on you, some nice rhymes. Confidence, voice, and beat selection. Shaq know how to pick good beats.
Something I think about is you're just a big Raiders fan, and you had a chance to interview with Al Davis?
Al Davis, yeah.
A lot of us don't get a chance to do that. What was that like? Because right now I'm thinking like, what? Okay, Ice Cube's the reporter here?
Yeah, it was cool. I did a 30 for 30 called Straight Outta LA about the Raiders leaving Los Angeles, 1994, and the whole story of NWA and how our music and the teams kind of, married and matched each other's style and profile. And so, just getting a chance to go up there and just going in his office, just him showing us around to all his memorabilia, the things, his pictures, the things that meant a lot to him. Getting a chance to ask him, the Marcus Allen question, what happened there? he didn't really want to answer what really went down. But it seemed like now Mark Davis has brought Marcus back into the fold. So hopefully that's straightened out. But it was, it's like meeting, a icon, a founding father in some ways. Somebody that was there at the beginning of the AFL and saw it all the way through to, what the Raiders have become.
If you look at your life now, and this is outside of what you've been doing with the Big Three, the music, the movies, you're this young kid who became a Dodgers fan when you were 8 years old, and Lakers fan, Kings fan, fan of a lot of the teams here. When you think about all the people you met in your life as a fan, you ever think back like, man, I'm living a good fan life?
Oh yeah, living a dream. I'm a big sports fan, and so, I'm amazed at what these guys could do, on the court or on the field, and being a chance to meet them, tell them how much I dig them, get a chance to watch them perform up close, good seats, So, I feel pretty blessed as a fan, not as Ice Cube, but just being able to do some of the things that I know fans will really cherish. I've had a chance to do a lot of that, even just being on the field, shooting a basket up at, now it's crypto, but just shooting a basket at the Forum or the Crypto or Madison Square Garden. I've been able to do all those kind of cool little things. It's cool.
When you're talking about Shaq, I guess you had to run into Kobe somewhere along this ride, this journey of your life. Any memory stands out about your moments with Kobe? Yeah,
man. I was a big fan of Kobe. And one day I was in Atlanta, and we were doing the TNT, the Inside the NBA. And I know I was supposed to be there, but I didn't know Kobe was going to be there. But Kobe was just in the control room kicking it, just watching the show, talking to Charles. And so I had a chance to have some real cool, about 2 or 3 hours.
Just hanging with
Kobe, talking basketball, talking about the games and just, getting that alone time, which, I really cherish, that moment because, I didn't know that would be, one of the few moments I would have left with him, So it was after he retired, and it was just cool to hang.
Yeah. Is there anything that you remember that you maybe learned from him, that Mamba mentality, like some other people learn?
Well, I knew he was there studying, the process. So that to me showed me that, if you're interested in something, show up, go. Be there, be present, don't, it wasn't like, he felt like he was too big to come by and hang out. And he wanted to learn what was going on behind the scenes at the Inside the NBA. So, that taught me a lot about just, you don't always have to, get permission. Just show up sometime and they'll let you in. You can look around.
So we're in the KCAL Sports Central studio. And I got to say, my man, when I do a lot of my teases, I'll say, Lakers did this and this and this. That's next on Sports Central. I say, yay. But that's your thing.
It's our thing.
Oh, it's our thing?
Yeah.
So they're going to just play. I need your approval.
Okay.
If my yay sounds all right in the show. So you'll be able to hear it.
No problem.
Waiting till you see the Dodgers' crazy ending against the mighty Braves next. Yay. How the Intuit Dome separates itself from the rest of the NBA. That's next on Sports Central. Yay. Sparks rookie Cameron Brink so emotional before tonight's game. Here one more time. That's next on Sports Central. Yay. All right.
Now, you saying it like you are borrowing something. You saying it like I'm using something I shouldn't be using. So you got to lose that part of it.
Okay.
You got to give it with conviction.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, this is your boy Ice Cube. We on Sports Center. Yay.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay, how was I saying? Yay, yay. Oh,
You was
yeah.
kind of like, yo, this is, you know,
This is Sports Central.
yeah, this is Sports Central and yay, yay. Yeah.
All right, well, you know what? Moving forward, prove from you, like, yay, yay.
Yay, yay.
Yay, yay. I got people over here laughing at me. Hey, I'm gonna kill it tonight. All right, I appreciate that approval on that. What's the most random place that you say yay, yay? Were you ever like in the line at Vaughn's and you looked at what you saved on your receipt and you're like, oh, yay, yay?
No, I don't really come out like that. It's more like when I see people, they see me. Yo, Q, yay, yay. You know, I hit them with it.
How
They
did that
love it.
start?
I heard it off of a Funkadelic record. It's a part of Knee Deep that got to get you beat, yay, not just Knee Deep. She was totally deep when she did the freak. So it's just something that I was like, oh, that's a dope little tag. I'm gonna keep using that. So I started saying, yay.
Yeah. Thinking about the big three, and one of the things that's you're gonna play some of the games at Intuit Dome.
We're gonna play a game. Yeah, we have a game August the 9th.
Yeah.
Intuit Dome.
It's a new
Get
spot,
your tickets.
man.
Yeah.
What's it like to be in that venue?
I've never been.
You've never been in Intuit Dome yet?
I've never been there yet.
We got to holler at Balmer real quick. Make sure
Yeah,
he
yeah.
gets you in
know,
there.
I think they've been real cool to us and really working with us to make sure that everything is perfect when we go.
Mm-hmm.
August 9th. Get your tickets, man. This is going to be the only time you get a chance to see the big three this year.
Also, get your tickets. You got a tour coming up.
Yeah. The Truth to Power.
Yeah, what's gonna be like to be back on stage?
It's great. I tour a lot, but this is a bigger production.
Yeah.
This is I usually jump on different tours, but now I'm doing my own production. I haven't done something like this since Up in Smoke, probably.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to giving the fans, a totally complete show. Got 4 decades of attitude.
Okay.
So 40 years of music, we got to be able to package it right. So we're going to be at Crypto in September. And so come check us out.
Is there any part of you, let's just say from your old sporting days, the mentality that you have to perform and play really well, does any of that carry over into how you perform on stage in your music?
Yeah, not quitting, no matter how you feel.
Yeah.
Giving the audience, everything you got. And being ready for anything, any kind of, you never know what's going to happen during the show, from a glitch to something happening in the audience. You just got to be ready for everything and handle it like a pro.
Do you know the set? Do you know what songs
Well, we're going to do we got music from the 80s,
Okay.
90s, 2000s, 2010s,
Okay.
2020.
Okay.
So from Straight Outta Compton to Man Down, everything in between.
I'm looking at it like a fan of your music, and I'm like, man, that's dope.
Yeah,
So
man, you got to come through.
No, I will come through. Sticking with the big three, you've been in movies.
Mm-hmm.
What's your big 3 movies?
Oh, wow. Of mine or just
of
movies?
yours.
Man, I got to say, people love, I love Friday. Everybody loves Friday.
Yeah.
Boys in the Hood
Yep.
is great. And even though I'm not in it, but it's still my movie, Straight Outta Compton.
Okay. Yeah. So what's number 1 though?
Friday.
Friday. Yeah, that's a classic, man.
Yeah, people love
That's
it.
a freaking classic.
Yeah.
This big 3 that you have coming up, 8th season, was there ever a moment where you're like, man, what did I get myself into?
Of course. It's the hardest thing that I've ever done
Really?
in my life. Yeah.
Outside, so forget the music, the movies.
Mm-hmm.
That big 3, hardest thing you ever did in your life?
Hardest thing, because it's not just me. It's not on me. It's not, a project where, I'm the center of it. I can control everything that's going on. I'm kind of setting the table for these amazing athletes.
Yeah.
And, in in a position where the NBA is not really favorable. So you got those headwinds and all the people they influence, you know, all the sponsors they influence, all the platforms they influence. You know, you have to maneuver and figure out, well, where's the big three's place in all of this, and find your place and like kind of take it.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't ask for permission. So, you know, it's been some challenging moments, but what I know is when you got something that the people want, you know, just keep cracking at it, and it'll find its way.
Did it surprise you that, man, 8 seasons now? I mean, it kind of went fast. I feel like it was just yesterday that you just started.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, you went through the grind.
To me, yeah.
You went through the grind of the work.
Yeah,
those 8 seasons may feel like 20 to you.
Yeah, it feels about, you know, about a decade or more. But hey, you know, this is what this is a dream come true in a lot of ways, man. You know, being able to introduce a brand new sport to the world on a professional level really hasn't been done since UFC.
Yeah. If you're going to tell the people at home, like, you know what, this is why you need to go check out the Big Three. This is why you need to go watch it, which is actually on CBS, so we're airing that as well. What would you tell the people?
I would say
in the most Ice Cube way.
Yo, if you want to see basketball played the right way, you know, not the stuff you've been seeing where they just chunking up threes, ain't no defense, you know, come see the Big Three. We play it the right way, fast, physical, in your face. Little trash talking never hurt nobody. So come see the pros play the game the right way, physical. And check us out on CBS right here.
Yay, yay?
Yay, yay.
Okay, all right.
There you go.
I hope I had the right voice.
You got it now.
I do?
Yeah,
right.
yeah, you got it.
I appreciate your blessing for holding it down, my man.
Anytime,
Congratulations, 8 seasons.
Yes, sir.
Ice Cube, Big Three. You can watch it on CBS. And my yay, yay. I think I just need to put more bass in that.
You
voice.
just got to have more, you know, you got to have more conviction with it, man. Just don't hold back.
I'm mad that I've been doing it wrong.
Well, you've been kind of, you know, pulling your punch a little bit. You might have thought you was going to get a call from me saying, hey, man, but you won't.
My man. Ice Cube. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you. Take it easy.